Barrels of Fun is the new for 2026 roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. This spinning coaster is part of the new Shoreline Pier area. It is meant to evoke memories of those portable spinning coasters found at boardwalks on the Jersey Shore. This was an interesting addition for a park as large as Great Adventure, but does it work here? Find out in this review. Ragin Cajun originally opened at Six Flags Great America in 2004. This was a Reverchon spinning coaster, but it was removed after the 2013 season due to its low capacity and to free up space for a future edition. It was moved to Six Flags America in 2014. This was a smaller Six Flags park that could better handle Ragin Cajun's low throughput. But this park's low attendance ultimately doomed the park, and it closed after the 2025 season. Since then, Six Flags has been relocating assets across the chain. Great Adventure was a prime spot to receive some rides for the 2026 season. You see, Great Adventure quietly closed Kingda Ka in 2024. When this press announcement was released, the chain tried to soften the blow by announcing a new multi-world record-breaking launch coaster. This was scheduled to open in 2026. No progress was visible in 2025, and the coaster was delayed to 2027. This meant Great Adventure would have originally had no new rides for 2026, frustrating guests. So corporate fast-tracked a last-minute addition known as Shoreline Pier. It would have a Jersey boardwalk theme and be comprised of 5 relocated rides, including 4 from Six Flags America. This was headlined by the spinning coaster that's the subject of this review, Barrels of Fun. Shoreline Pier officially opened in late June, but Barrels of Fun was not quite ready. It opened a week later on July 8th. This is located in the back of Shoreline Pier, and it features an all-blue paint scheme. This looks great on a sunny day. Then the multicolored vehicles contrast beautifully. This makes for a nice backdrop for the land, and this attraction is also highly visible from the parking lot. The ride has a nice entrance sign and a few props alongside the queue, but in general, this ride has barely any theming. But that is in line with what you'd get at a Jersey boardwalk, so it does fit the overall aesthetic they were going for. The biggest issue right now is the lack of shade. This frequently happens when a park rushes to open a coaster as soon as they possibly can. Barrels of Fun has 0 shade structures in both the station and queue. That's problematic because, as I noted at the start, this ride has a low capacity, meaning lines will be long. Each car seats a max of 4 riders. That's low anyway, but the day I rode Barrels of Fun, the park was loading just 1 party per vehicle. This meant cars would frequently have 2 empty seats. I visited on a relatively quiet weekday. Most rides at the park were walk-ons, but Barrels of Fun had a decent wait. Per the app, it was hovering around the half-hour mark most of the day. I imagine this wait will be particularly brutal on busy days such as Fright Fest. Given Great Adventure's high attendance, I think they need to maximize this ride's throughput by pairing groups to try and fill all the seats. They do at least run multiple vehicles and dispatch them more quickly than I saw at Six Flags America. They also really need to go back and add shade structures not just to this ride, but multiple rides in Shoreline Pier. Barrels of Fun has Fast Lane, but it is very restricted at the moment. It is only available as a one-time skip in the highest tier. You cannot skip this ride with the lower tier Fast Lane, Season Pass skips, or membership skips. I suspect this will change in future seasons though. With Fast Lane, you are routed directly to the load platform, so it is a massive time saver. If you don't have Fast Lane, it is probably wise to hit this coaster early or late, which is the case with most lower capacity rides. If you are visiting in the near future, this coaster has been having spurts of downtime. That is often typical with a new coaster. But it is a bit frustrating to see here because this is a relocated version of a time-tested ride model. I am sure this will be resolved long term though. Each car is divided into 2 sets of seats. All of them face forwards. Pairs of guests share a seatbelt and an overhead lap bar. Since the bar stops at the larger guest, smaller riders may have a ton of space. This is why the newer versions feature individual lap bars instead. Once secure, you round a corner. As you approach the lift hill, you pass over a drive tire. But these feel like a pseudo-launch. Every drive tire in this ride has a noticeable kick to it. This will definitely come into play later in the ride. You then ascend the 43-foot or 13-meter tall chain lift. You will hear a siren carried over from the Ragin Cajun days during the ascent. Once at the top, you have a nice view overlooking the Project Purple construction site. Then the main layout begins. As with most wild mice, this ride starts with a series of hairpin turns. These have nice laterals. Just watch your head. You can potentially hit it against the vehicle side or the lap bar. It is worth noting the vehicle spin is locked at this point. This sequence leads to a sharp drop. It has a solid pop of airtime. You then rise upwards and have another quick hairpin turn overlooking Shoreline Pier. Then you hit another drive tire. This gives a shocking speed boost. You are whipped around another hairpin turn. While pinned to the right, the car traverses the ride's largest drop. With the extra speed, this offers a weak pop of airtime. It is just weirdly delayed until you're over the apex, presumably due to those aforementioned laterals. The train then rockets up a double up. Hump 1 offers a small bit of airtime, but Hump 2 offers a more robust pop because the crest is so tight. You then slam around another hairpin turn. You then have a straightaway with the release mechanism to unlock the car's spin. So when you hit the next hairpin turn, the real mayhem begins. The car starts spinning feverishly fast. It feels like a turbo-boosted teacup or a tilt-a-whirl. The centripetal force here pins you against the seat back. This part of the layout has a series of hairpin turns. Every time you turn, the spin intensifies. This part feels just as fast as it did during the Ragin Cajun days. This mouse was always known for spinning more than usual, and it still seems to be the case. As you pass the station, the car passes over another drive tire. This offers one last speed boost. The train is then thrown over a small drop. You then have this tiny hump with an okay pop of airtime, and you get a fierce burst of airtime climbing into the final turnaround. These two airtime moments are particularly wild if you're spinning, because you will not see them coming. This makes it so your body cannot brace for what's about to happen. The train then rounds one last corner and sharply hits the brakes. Watch your head, particularly if you enter this part sideways. It is very easy to smack your head here on the car or the lap bar, which is very uncomfortable. You then return to the station, ending the 1,378-foot or 420-meter-long layout. While the physical car speed is not fast, the pacing ends up being decent because of the strong laterals and the consistent spin in the second half. Then in terms of smoothness, the tracking is good. The car has no jitter or shake. Some of the laterals can be jarring, but that is deliberate. What would I rate Barrels of Fun? I would give this coaster a 7 out of 10. This is a good spinning coaster. While this is a standard spinning mouse layout, this one is stronger than usual because of the faster spinning. Then the booster tires cost some extra negative Gs the other installations do not offer. This ride works well in a boardwalk themed area for sure. I just hope they go back and fix the shade issue. Was this the right addition for Great Adventure? I have mixed thoughts about it. This park probably should be receiving high capacity coasters given their attendance levels. However, they were in desperate need of general capacity after removing so many rides in recent years. Considering the options were this or nothing, I will take this. So while the coaster's individual capacity in the grand scheme of things is low, the overall aggregated capacity of Shoreline Pier is a net positive to the park. This ultimately is meant to be a placeholder and a supportive addition for the park, and it is a fun ride once you finally board it. I know this coaster is a clone, but it runs better than the others, allowing it to stand out. I know some point out how Great Adventure already had a Wild Mouse coaster in Dark Knight, but Barrels of Fun feels noticeably different with the spin, and most guests will not realize the layouts have some similarities because Dark Knight is fully enclosed. After two lower capacity coasters that were added last minute between Flash Vertical Velocity and Barrels of Fun, the Big Kahuna is finally coming next year with Project Purple, which is largely expected to be a mock extreme spinner. It should open as the world's tallest and fastest spinning coaster. Barrels of Fun will still stand out though, because the vehicles in that ride are allowed to spin faster, whereas the mock extreme spinners dampen the spin rate. Those are my thoughts on Barrels of Fun, the new for 2026 roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. What are your thoughts on this ride and its overall fit in the park? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you consider subscribing, since there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.